Are you familiar with the Native American tradition of the two paths? Some people call it the two roads, but that's not as more popular.
I know it as a boat and a canoe. I don't know if that is what you're talking about.
Okay, well, when it comes to those traditions, there's so many different variants because there's so many different subfamilies. But the basic concept is this: the individual who walks a path of preparation for a doomed world receives on his journey all the things that justify living in a doomed world. And the individual who sets out on a path knowing that he's going to be okay no matter what is the one that the Great Spirit guides to make sure that he will always be okay no matter what is on the path. So in reading these Native American traditions that tell me this, I see the archaics paradigm, what I've put together from all the different religious angles and philosophies and my own personal experiences. When I put archaics together, I see the Native Americans, they sum it up so perfectly, but it goes deeper than that. Because in my own studies, and most of my data is culled from 17th, 18th, and 19th century books. So when I'm going through my studies, I am floored. These men were talking to, they were having, through translators, they were talking to Native Americans in 1818, in the 1840s, in the 1870s, and they were writing all these scientific reports about what they were hearing, and they were hearing about a vapor canopy world. They were hearing about humans fighting giants. They were hearing about animals being 3 times bigger in the old time than they are today. They were hearing about a great flood and a survivor or a family of survivors, and they were hearing about a whole communities finding refuge because the Great Spirit led them to caverns in the underworld. And after the cataclysm was over, they came out and they had to protect themselves because of the burning disc. And the burning disc took a while to get used to. And every bit of this makes sense because in the Archaics chronology, I show that the pre-flood world that's mentioned in Genesis was a vapor canopy world. There was a firmament of water above the world. And this is why during the times of Spider Grandmother, the ancestors lived under what was called the dark purple light in the northern tribes. But the southern tribes, like the Hopi and the Pueblo, they remembered it as the dark midnight time. It was a time when the sun did not exist. The sun didn't appear until after there was a cataclysm and the fall of the goddess. And the goddess and the grandmother, they're the same thing. During a period of ancient history, animals were bigger. Some believe animals could talk, or you could talk to your spirit animals. And this great cataclysm is what divided the old world from our present history, according to Native American traditions. So in finding all these details that I have found in all these other civilizations and their beliefs and all that, to find it all said in one culture, the Native American culture, is amazing, because everything else I put together from Archaics is from all these ancient texts that we have surviving to today, belief systems from all around the world, prophetic texts, biblical narratives, everything I've been able to put together with anthropology and archaeological discoveries, and I put together this Archaics thesis. Now, to find every element of the Archaics thesis comported by the Native American traditions is very eye-opening. That's why I believe it merits a whole series of videos.